Little Wyatt update. Okay, the last couple weeks, we had the week of colic. I don't know if that was the hay or the weather or what, but he was definitely colicking, especially because when I gave him Banamine and/or enough Ulcerguard, it went away. That's a sure sign that you have a colic. I think it was more of a gas colic, although I did find some bad hay in his stall one of the days that he colicked. And then I also found more recently, I found some grass hay that has oat hay in it. And in the past, too much oat hay is definitely causing a bellyache. It's a very small amount of oat hay, but if he were to eat that particular hay several days in a row, I could see how that could be maybe cause some of the things that have come out. So, but this week, I know I made a video earlier in the week, it might have even been yesterday, about like the kind of little upsetness that he had, and then about him letting it go. And I think I was journaling about it this morning, and I thought to myself, I was talking to Lisa about it yesterday, and I thought to myself, this is why I don't ride this horse, because that spot, that's actually, to an extent, yes, that spot where he reared and got upset about the leaf, yes, because that's always in there, and it's shrunk, but whether it's 1% or 75%, it's still in there. Do you want to ride that horse? I don't know that I feel safe on him. So there's that. And then yesterday, I think I had something happen that made me feel solid in my decision to stop riding that horse. He's been great about having the bareback pad on. He hasn't gotten all bunched up about the bareback pad in months. But yesterday, a thing happened. And I've been putting the bareback pad on him enough that, it shouldn't be an issue. Like, if he was truly over it, he'd be truly over it at this point. So yesterday, I put the bareback pad on him, and unfortunately I had the really bad timing that he had only taken a few steps when one of the tractors went by, and it was going pretty quickly, and it was making noise, and it was behind him, and it was just enough that the two together caused him to take a couple steps forward, and then he felt like his belly was getting grabbed, and he almost just lost his shit. Luckily, typically in those situations, I'm able to get him to come back. I just shut him down. What choice do you have? It's that or his life. I hate shutting him down, but it's that. Those are like survival moments. So I got him through that, and then I was able to, once he realized that the bareback pad wasn't going to grab him, which did not take very much time. He literally took like a big deep breath, and let it go, and then he was fine, and it didn't come back up, and he didn't, there was a whole bunch of stuff. He did start to do his funny shoulder pawing thing, and I asked him to not do that, and then he was like, okay, I'll try again, and then that was kind of the end of it. And then I actually cinched him. I took the cinch off and on like 2 or 3 times just to kind of go through it a few times, and that was fine. But I guess the real point of this is that he still has that in him. Even in the bareback pad, there's still a worry once in a while that if he gets grabbed, he's gonna, something bad's gonna happen, and then he might just let loose, if you're not on it right away. And I think it was just an illustration to me that that is a piece of him that maybe can't be totally undone, or as I said to Lisa yesterday, even if you could get it undone, the things that you would have to do to get it that way, I don't feel good about doing to him. I don't think it's fair. I ultimately don't know that it would help him very much. Honestly, I think he's at a point where we could try that, and it could just go so bad that he could get hurt and kill himself. The couple things that I think we could still do that might help. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. Bottom line, it's not worth it, because there's so many other things going on, and you're still taking a risk. You don't know for sure that it's going to help. It's just so deep in him. So it just made, as sad as I almost started crying, and then I was like, you don't have time to cry. So as sad as it made me feel about how he is doing, it did at least reiterate, or that, I guess not how he's doing, I think he's doing good. It made me feel sad that that's still in there after all this time for him, and then it still pops up. I don't want him to feel like that. But it did reiterate to me that I made this really good decision in May, that this is not something that is resolvable, and we could always be getting it a little bit better, but we're never going to get it totally resolvable, and he's always going to have that piece inside of him, whether it's 1% or 75, which makes him not safe. Even if it's 1%, 100% he's never going to be a safe riding horse. Not the way I would want him to be safe. So, and I actually feel weirdly okay with that. Yesterday was a little sad, but at the same time, knowing that I don't ever have to ride that horse again is just complete freedom. And I've gotten a lot. I hid that for months, and then I don't know what changed. There was just one day somebody asked me about it. Somebody brand new moved into the barn, and I was just like, well, he's just not a horse that you can ride. And I said it like with no judgment, no nothing. And she was like, interesting. And just kind of like, she actually, I don't know what she was thinking in her head, but her response was kind of perfect. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to get honest about it. Like, when people start asking me, and I had somebody ask me last week, I had somebody ask me yesterday, and I was like, nope, don't ride this horse anymore. He's not safe. And there's nothing I can do to fix it, to make it safe. So, and it's kind of nice to just have that out in the open. So, yeah, I wish it wasn't the case, but I do feel